Nearly 1,000 people evacuated from their homes this afternoon. The fire jumped an area that it wasn't supposed to, or it wasn't anticipated. I want to step over to this map and show you. This is an area where the fire was earlier today, and this dashed line is where there was a containment. That fire blew north and east into the Glacier View subdivision, and it's approaching the Hewlett fire burn area, which is actually a good thing. It will run out of fuel if it gets there, but it's still been a tough day for firefighters. The High Park fire erupting on day 14.
Today was a tough battle.
More homes destroyed, including this one seen live on 7 News at 5 p.m.
I've heard unconfirmed reports at this point that there could be another 5 to 10 structures.
The fire jumping the Poudre River and burning into the Glacier View subdivision.
Fire was growing and gaining to the point where those engines that we've had staged in the Glacier View subdivision, we had to pull them back.
As crews fought the flames, a man snuck into the evacuated area to look for his missing wife. Deputies went to the home, which was not yet in a burned area.
When they got there, they were not able to locate her. Her whereabouts at this point are unknown.
A red flag warning in effect through Saturday night, but we've learned up to 5 heavy tankers and more helicopters will be flying Saturday. On the ground, bulldozers will be brought in to take out vegetation and draw a wide dirt barrier.
We'll usually do, quite a few dozers wide. Just give a good break so when the fire does get there, that it should stop it, hopefully.
And again, to give you an idea, to the northeast here is where the Hewlett fire burn area is, and where that fire jumped is the Poudre River, again, an area that was hopefully not going to be jumped today. As for the reports of that missing woman, the sheriff tells me after that news conference that she's not missing in his terms, but really unaccounted for, that not all of these stones have been unturned yet to see where she might be. She might be at the evacuation center. They'll update that in the morning. Reporting live, Marshall Zellinger, 7 News.
And as the fire reaches 70,000 acres, the burn area expanding. This is the latest map showing the more than 100 square miles now charred. And we're learning tonight the closure of Highway 14 is expanding as well. Further to the west, it's now closed from Ted's Place to Gould. Our live team coverage continuing with 7 News reporter Mark Stewart. Mark, you've been talking with evacuees as they've left their homes. Many are still searching for answers tonight.
And Teresa, many of them are frustrated, but also very understanding. And the reason why lies behind me over this ridge. You can see the glow of the flames as this fire moves closer to Livermore. It's a symbol that unfortunately some lives will change.
And the fire is big and it's black.
A fire that's very unforgiving.
We saw fire burning right up to the houses below us.
Lois Livingood got the call to leave late in the afternoon.
It's closer than we ever thought it would be.
Sure, she's concerned about her home of 13 years.
I'm trembling.
But she's also worried about the men and women now entering the fire zone.
I have a complete peace that if anything can be done to save our house, they'll do it. I just hope they know I don't want it to be at the expense of anybody's safety.
Photo albums.
Cars have been packed for a week, yet it's the wind and smoke today that served as the signal to get out.
I grabbed as many of my pictures as I could because that's things I can't replace, but other than that, it's insured.
It's breaking.
The front porch of the local market is where many homeowners are coming for information.
Do you have any questions?
And while the people here know their houses may be the next to go, the attention always returns to the firefighters, many of whom are neighbors, simply doing the best job they can.
We're really praying for all of those people, those brave people who are giving a risk of their lives to protect us, and we appreciate them.
And the local fire department say it is just too early to set any kind of timetable as to when people can even think about returning. But every single evacuee we've talked to tonight has wanted to make it very clear they are thankful they were able to get out in time. Live in Livermore tonight, Mark Stewart, 7 News.
And Governor Hickenlooper signing 3 new executive orders today to help with firefighting efforts. The first frees up an additional $5 million to fight the High Park fire. The other 2 free up additional money to help battle both the Springer and Stewart Hole fires. Many of the evacuees of the High Park fire are animals. This is the ranch at the Larimer County Fairgrounds where hundreds of them are now staying. The Larimer County Sheriff's posse goes into the fire zone searching for these beloved family members. One woman called to thank them after learning their home was gone, but their horse was safe.
By getting this horse, that was the last family member accounted for. That says it. That's why we do it.
In fact, it took 2 weeks to locate, catch, and finally rescue that particular horse. Along with horses, the posse has saved sheep, donkeys, and llamas. Many volunteers doing this after their day jobs. New tonight, we're getting incredible new pictures from the actual fire lines themselves. These pictures taken by Kari Greer of Colorado's wildfires. She's a photographer for the U.S. Forest Service. Even though she's not fighting this fire, Kari says she's experiencing everything firefighters go through.
When I'm in the middle of an active fire, right over the shoulder of a firefighter who is actively fighting that fire, I feel like I'm right there with them experiencing it, and I feel the heat, I feel the smoke.
And Kari is a trained firefighter. She's sent in, though, to many fires to document the damage and efforts of the firefighter. Near the fire zone, a Cheyenne couple says their wedding plan for this weekend is still on schedule. Andy Collins and Tasha Hackla have more than 100 guests coming to Archer's Poudre River Resort, where they also plan to spend their honeymoon next week.
We're getting married. We spend all our time up here, and I've lived up here my whole life, so that's where it's going on.
And the bride-to-be says it's going to make a great story someday for their kids, and that the only difficulty for their guests will be taking a back way to get around the fire to the wedding. Folks in Larimer County showing their appreciation for firefighters' efforts with signs like this one. We found this little guy holding his handmade sign and posters with tiny handprints sending a big message of appreciation.